The cornerstone of 2026 is the release of Speaking to You, an album that functions more like a sonic diary than a commercial product. In the studio, Jonathan has moved away from the perfectionist polish of his early 20s. We are seeing a shift toward raw, first-take authenticity. For a tenor of his caliber, the temptation is always to over-engineer the high notes, but in this era, he is letting the breaths, the slight cracks of emotion, and the natural resonance of his vocal cords stay in the final mix. This album is of love that reflects his personal philosophy, that beauty is found in the truth of the moment rather than the precision of the pitch. He has spent 2026 explaining that this record is his way of giving back a little of the beauty he has received from his fans. It marks the first time he has had total creative sovereignty over his tracklist, choosing songs not because they are safe hits, but because they mirror his own internal monologue. The production process itself was an international affair, blending the historic halls of London's Angel Studios with the cutting-edge technology of Lowe's Angels. This juxtaposition mirrors Jonathan's own life, half-rooted in the traditional world of classical music and half-reaching toward the modern digital age. By collaborating with producer Leo Z, Jonathan found a partner who understood his objective: to create easy listening with a little more depth. This isn't just about highbrow opera, it's about accessibility. A family member's comment that this was his easiest album to listen to became the ultimate compliment for him. It suggests that he has finally stripped away the barriers between the performer and the listener. In this personal era, the music doesn't just ask to be admired from afar. It invites you into the room where it was made, sharing the human warmth and gentle eccentricity that have become his trademarks. Perhaps the most personal element of this era is Jonathan's vocal transparency regarding his autism diagnosis. In 2026, he isn't just a singer who happens to be neurodivergent. He is an artist whose neurodivergence informs every staccato and legato. He has spoken candidly about how he processes sound, not just as music, but as a physical, tactile experience. This has changed his live performances in the USA. He now incorporates sensory-friendly elements into his audiovisual experiences, acknowledging that many of his fans share his. By speaking about his diagnosis as a missing puzzle piece, he has stripped away the stigma often found in the rigid, formal world of opera. He is teaching the American public that being eccentric isn't a hurdle to be overcome, but a superpower that allows him to tap into depths of emotion that others might find inaccessible. For Jonathan, the diagnosis provided a framework for his creative process. It explained his intense focus, his unique rhythmic sensibilities, and his need for soul-affirming tasks. This era is defined by him being older, wiser, and better than ever because he finally understands the engine under the hood. He has mentioned that it helped me understand myself and how I see the world, and that worldview is exactly what he is projecting onto the stage in 2026. The Target USA tour is less of a spectacle and more of a shared space where neurodivergence is celebrated as a source of artistic beauty. He often jokes about his eccentric side during inter-song banter, turning what used to be a source of teenage anxiety into a point of connection. This vulnerability has made him a hero for a new generation of listeners who see their own missing puzzle pieces reflected in his success. When Jonathan released his cover of John Legend's All of Me in early January 2026, it wasn't just another cover, it was a mission statement. In the newsroom, we've analyzed how this track serves as the bridge between his British roots and his American aspirations. By taking a quintessential American soul pop ballad and applying a cinematic, easy listening filter, he is effectively introducing his soul to the Target USA audience. The lyrics, focusing on loving all curves and all edges and perfect imperfections, resonate deeply with his journey of self-acceptance. In 2026, Jonathan is no longer trying to fit into the tuxedo-clad mold of a traditional tenor. He is showing the edges of his personality, his love for gaming, his affinity for heavy metal, and his soft-hearted nature, all through the vehicle of this song. This specific rendition is about more than romantic love. Jonathan has stated that it represents his desire to give all of himself to his audience and all creatures. It is a song of connection. The production by Leo Z balances light and shade, mirroring the emotional spectrum Jonathan has navigated since his breakthrough 13 years ago. In the music video, we see a man who is unafraid to be open. There is a stillness in his performance of this song that suggests a newfound peace. It signals to the American market that he isn't just bringing a voice to the States, he's bringing a person. By choosing such a recognizable modern classic, he has successfully repositioned himself as a contemporary artist who uses classical technique to elevate everyday emotions, making the grand world of the tenor feel intimate and personal. The Target USA initiative is a meticulously crafted campaign to solidify his presence in the American market, but it's being done with a grassroots heart. Unlike the massive, impersonal stadium tour of pop stars, his 2026 US run is designed to feel like an intimate gathering. He is focusing on venues that allow for a conversation with the audience. This strategy recognizes that his American fan base doesn't just want to hear him sing, they want to hear him speak. This era is defined by his willingness to engage in long-form Q&As and meet and greets where he discusses mental health and the creative struggle. He is betting on the idea that the American public is hungry for realness over royalty, and so far, the sold-out theaters from New York to Los Angeles suggest he is right. This expansion is also a logistical feat. Jonathan has been working behind the scenes to ensure that his music is available in formats that American collectors cherish, including high-quality vinyl and digital deluxes. The Target USA moniker isn't just about sales figures, it's about a cultural landing. Jonathan has expressed a deep affinity for the American spirit of possibility, which he feels aligns with his current, bold new chapter. By performing on morning shows and participating in local community events, he is building a brand based on human warmth rather than distant stardom. The 2026 campaign is in how an international artist can meet listeners exactly where they are by treating a massive market like a small neighborhood, building one authentic connection at a time. The relationship between Jonathan and his fans has reached a fever pitch in 2026. This year, they'll have evolved from a fan club into a support network. Jonathan frequently credits his fans with giving him the levity and grace to continue his career during his darkest moments. In this personal era, the barrier between the stage and the seats has thinned. He uses social media not for PR, but for genuine connection, often sharing eccentric snippets of his daily life, like his collection of vintage technology or his latest video game, that have nothing to do with music. This transparency has fostered a level of loyalty rarely seen in the industry. The 2026 era is as much about the people who listen as it is about the man who sings, creating a feedback loop of mutual appreciation that fuels his creative engine. During the 2026 tour, Jonathan has made it a point to highlight fan stories, acknowledging that your existence is worth so much. This mantra has become a rallying cry for the community. The identity is built on a shared value of looking beyond narrow views to see the beauty inside. Jonathan's 2026 message is that we are all, in some way, perfectly imperfect. This shift from performer and fan to collaborators in a shared experience is what makes this era so personal. He isn't just singing to them, he is singing with them. The community has responded by organizing charitable drives in his name, reflecting the gentle nature that Jonathan has modeled. In 2026, being isn't just about liking a voice. It's about belonging to a movement of empathy and authenticity. From a technical standpoint, 2026 marks the year Jonathan's voice has truly settled. Operatic voices often don't reach their full maturity until the early 30s, and we are witnessing that transition in real time. His lower register has gained a velvety weight that provides a rich foundation for his signature, soaring high notes. This vocal maturity allows him to tackle more complex, emotionally demanding repertoire. He is no longer the boy with the big voice. He is a man with a disciplined instrument. This physical change in his voice mirrors his psychological growth. Just as his voice has found its home in a deeper, more resonant place, Jonathan has found his home in his own skin, allowing for a performance style that is both powerful and incredibly nuanced. In his 2026 recordings, such as Bang Bang and Donna, we hear a tenor who is in total command of light and shade. He uses his voice to illustrate the many dimensions of his personality, from the angriest, most intense moments to the most reflective and quiet ones. He has moved away from the need to always be loud, and instead focuses on the message behind the track. This technical evolution is a key component of his personal era, because it represents his refusal to be a one-note performer. He is experimenting with vocal textures that reflect his love for rock and heavy metal, bringing a certain theatrical grit to his classical work. By the time Speaking to You drops in late March, listeners will hear a vocalist who isn't just singing songs, but who is using his matured biology to tell a story of survival and triumph. One of the most interesting aspects of this 2026 era is how Jonathan is redefining the classical crossover genre. Often, this genre can feel like a compromise, but for Jonathan, it's a fusion. He is pulling from his love of diverse genres to inject a certain theatrical grit into his classical performances. He isn't afraid to let his voice sound raw if the emotion of the song calls for it. This no-rules approach to genre is a hallmark of his personal era. He is telling the world that he doesn't have to choose between being a serious opera singer and a fun pop artist. He can be both, and in doing so, he is attracting a younger, more diverse audience to the classical world, people who see themselves in his quirky and authentic presentation. His 2026 repertoire includes everything from 1950s classics to modern hits like No Surprises by and Pure Imagination. This eclectic mix is a direct reflection of his own playlist. He has stated that he wants to bring people together of every color, race, and creed, and his music acts as the universal language to do so. By reimagining songs that aren't typically associated with a tenor voice, he is breaking the museum culture of classical music. He is making these songs feel like they belong in 2026, not in a history book. This bold shift is part of why this era is so personal. It's the first time he has truly allowed his own diverse tastes to dictate his professional output, proving that a great tenor can also be a modern, relevant cultural force. Visually, Jonathan's 2026 era is a departure from the past. The Target USA visuals in the Speaking to You album art utilize a palette that is warm, inviting, and slightly whimsical. It's a reflection of his internal world, a place of beauty and levity. Gone are the stiff, formal portraits. In their place are images that capture him in motion, laughing, or lost in thought. This visual storytelling is crucial to his most personal era because it aligns his image with his message. He is presenting himself as an approachable human figure. The 2026 aesthetic is about the light at the end of the tunnel, symbolizing his journey from the anxieties of his youth to the self-assuredness of his present. This visual rebranding extends to his live shows, which he describes as audiovisual experiences. He uses lighting and stage design to create an atmosphere that is comforting and soul-affirming. He has even collaborated on a new children's book, Jonathan and the Magical Cape, which uses visual art to convey themes of courage and self-worth. In every medium, the visual language of 2026 is consistent. It is vibrant, eccentric, and deeply kind. It reflects a man who has made peace with his image, no longer hiding behind a stage persona, but instead inviting the camera to see him older, wiser, and better than ever. This alignment of sight and sound is what gives the 2026 era its incredible power and resonance. In 2026, Jonathan has moved beyond simply mentioning mental health to making it a core component of his artistic output. He has become a facto spokesperson for the idea that it's okay not to be okay, especially within the high-pressure world of professional music. His 2026 interviews often touch on the soul-affirming task of creating art while managing anxiety and depression. This honesty has made him a hero to many who struggle in silence. By being unfiltered about his own struggles, he is giving his audience permission to be unfiltered as well. This era is personal because it isn't just about his success. It's about his survival and his thriving, providing a roadmap for others to follow their own missing puzzle pieces. He often quotes himself, saying, "You are worth so much just by the virtue of your existence." And this philosophy is the bedrock of his 2026 campaign. He has discussed how, through pain comes hope, and he uses his platform to encourage those who are being bullied or marginalized. This isn't just a PR angle. It is a lived reality that he shares during his performances, often pausing between songs to offer words of encouragement. By integrating his advocacy so deeply into his music, he has transformed his concerts into a form of collective therapy. In 2026, a Jonathan show is a place where you can be unassuming and genuine, reflecting the artist himself. It is this profound commitment to mental well-being that truly defines his most personal era. As we look toward the latter half of 2026, the legacy of this era is already becoming clear. Jonathan is proving that authenticity is the most powerful marketing tool in the world. By leaning into his autism, his eccentricities, and his true vocal range, he has bypassed the traditional industry gatekeepers to speak directly to the hearts of his audience. This year is the era of the man, not just the era of the voice. Whether he is performing on a PBS special or sharing a quiet moment on a podcast, the message remains the same. This is all of me. It is a triumphant, high-definition portrait of an artist who has finally stopped trying to be what the world expected and started being exactly who he is. The Target USA campaign is set to conclude its initial run with a series of high-profile events, but the impact will last far longer. Jonathan has built a bridge between the classical world and the modern experience that others will follow. His Of Love has resulted in an album that will likely stand as his definitive work for years to come. In 2026, we aren't just watching a singer. We are watching a person achieve their dreams by taking every step possible and staying genuine and articulate. As he continues his journey, Jonathan leaves us with a simple but profound truth, that our perfect imperfections are exactly what make us beautiful. The 2026 era is, quite simply, the sound of a soul finally feeling at home.